Hi, welcome back to my channel again. Today I want to talk about it's mainly about self-realization and the stories we tell ourselves that limit us from being who we are. And it's kind of just the same old story again, but I was getting some fresh insight today. You know what the insight I was getting today, is just about actually trying to remove the barriers um, to our progress. The barriers that are put in place, which is basically the stories, that we tell ourselves about ourselves. I caught myself again this morning speaking very rudely to myself, and it was just amazing to hear that voice, and to hear the words very clearly. It was just it was shocking once again this morning. After the brain had reset, I heard myself telling myself that I'm not going to make it. I'm going to fail in the different things I was doing. And yeah, immediately I just caught myself, and yeah, it was beautiful to notice again. So it is real. Well, at least it's real for me. So what we need to ask ourselves first of all, is what stories have we been telling ourselves about ourselves? How are they limiting who we are? How are they stopping us from moving forward? How are they stopping us from doing what we should do? Yeah, I have decided to identify myself, as someone that makes videos on YouTube every day, and I have to live up to that statement that I've made to myself. I've made it one of my core values, just to share my knowledge. And the reason why I'm sharing my knowledge is so that somebody, somewhere might just stumble upon it, and hopefully it can make a difference in somebody's life. Also, I want to use my voice, more effectively, to convey the messages of my soul. So yeah, those are the two main reasons why I decided to making these videos every day on YouTube. So it's a story I've told myself, and I have to believe this story in order for it to come true or to come to pass. I have to believe this story. What evidence do I have that I believe this story? The evidence that I bought a tripod. I already have a phone, yeah. So, but I started using the camera, the video app on the phone to make videos, and every day I just have to come up with something, even if it's a repetition of what I've said before. I have to make a video every single day, one or two. Yeah, so that these actions, reinforce my my initial statement, my belief, my new story, of being someone that speaks. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I never used to speak before. Most wisdom, comes from pain, comes from a certain kind of pain or the other. It's our suffering that brings us, to realization. According to Rumi, the wound that we have, is where the light enters us. So for me to be talking about self-love, for me to be talking about self-realization and self-actualization, and self-confidence, that means I never had it before. Or I had very low grade forms of self-love before. I had more self-loathing. I didn't like myself. I didn't like my body. I didn't like how I looked. I believed what other people, were saying about me, and all the limitations that I had. And it seems like the brain, even though there was evidence, of positive, there was evidence that I was courageous. There was evidence that I was intelligent. There was a lot of evidence everywhere, proving that I knew what I was doing and that I could be anything I wanted to be. But I chose unconsciously or subconsciously, to believe the negative feedback, the negative vibes that I got from my environment. I don't know why I did that. So I chose to suppress my real strengths, my real characters, and I chose to elevate my weaknesses and my insecurities and my fears. So now is the period for me, to reverse the situation by being courageous again, by believing that I have some wisdom, by believing that I have the intelligence to make some kind of positive impact or difference, in the world, and most importantly, to myself. Is an internal healing journey for me to be able to speak and just talk every day, because I never did it. And the reason why I never did it was because I stuttered a lot as a child. So I was always being mocked and laughed at. So I try to avoid any situation where I would have to even talk. So it caused a lot of pain for me for a very long while in my life. And so now I've decided to face it head on, by speaking every day and every day and every day. And that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I understand when people say, self-love can be selfish in a way, but there's nothing wrong with anything, really. Nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, nothing wrong with healing yourself. Now, in this process of healing myself, I believe that somebody, might get healed in the process. In this process of speaking my truth, I hope it makes an impact, on somebody else's life, because for me, it's cathartic. It's pure healing, just to be able to do this. It has been about 3 to 4 weeks now that I've maintained this consistency of doing these videos on YouTube, and I share it everywhere, all over social media. I used to be the one, that lived in shame. I couldn't stand or even bear to listen to my own voice. Whenever I listened to it, I had some kind of cramp or something in my stomach. Like, it was so shameful. I didn't even want to listen to it. I hated looking at myself, in the mirror. I didn't like seeing my face. It's just amazing where we get these kind of limiting beliefs from. And I know a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people are suffering from this very low self-esteem, this very low grade self-confidence. And the only way to overcome it is by taking inspired action. One small thing a day. Start by talking to yourself. Start by putting something out. I don't know whatever your condition is. There's first you need to be aware of whatever your condition is, which I know everybody is aware. We try to pretend as if we don't know what the problem is, but that's just another game too that we're playing with ourselves. So it depends on what you want to do with your life. If you really want to change your life, then you really have to change your narrative. You need to watch yourself talk every single day, and you need to take at least one action, even one small action, that will help to reverse, that negative belief that you have about yourself. That will help to counteract your negative self-talk. That's the most that we can do every day. This morning I had the same negative talk again. I woke up and I hit the snooze button, slept for another 1 hour. I woke up and I was about to go to my phone, and I just realized, oh no, that's not what I should do. So I went to the ground and just did a few press ups. Yeah, I don't know what impact it's going to have. I hope I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And yeah, gradually, yeah, it's incremental. It's in small steps. Gradually, we're going to get there. And now I have some things to write, and I want to write them. I've been on my desk for a while, listening to YouTube and other things while avoiding what exactly I'm supposed to be writing. And it's amazing, even with all I'm saying, there's really no guru in the end. This the procrastination, whatever, it's still in me. But I'll sit on the desk. I've opened up the Microsoft Word page where I'm supposed to do the writing, and hopefully I'll get to do it. Yeah, after this video, hopefully I'll get to do it. But it's not easy battling with the mind. It's the mind doesn't want to do what it's not used to doing. So if you have to change the routine, it's a struggle. It's a mental struggle, but it's doable, it's achievable, and I'm going to do it today. And I'm going to share my video with you later in the day about if I've achieved it or not, because it's morning over here, and hopefully I'll be doing these videos morning and evening every day. I'll try to put some more structure into it. So thanks for listening to my rambling, and see you guys later. Stay blessed.